Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Poker Vlog. If you don't know yet, my name's John, and I'm starting this channel to kind of, I guess, record my journey through the low stakes of poker. Last week we had a bit of a loss, but this week I'm going to try and bounce back. It's currently Saturday, and I'm going to head out to the casino to play some 1-3. I'm excited to start getting into this more. I'm going to try and start going to the casino 2 to 3 times a week. But right now, just being completely transparent, it's a little scary. Like, it's very stressful every time I go because, truth be told, I don't have the biggest bankroll set up right now. So when you have big portions of your bankroll on the table, it hurts more when you lose little pots or stack it up little pots, and it can affect your play, which I don't want to happen. So I'm really just focused on trying to play my best and not be results oriented. So that's just a little transparency on my side, a little nervous, a little stressed, but hopefully we can stack up a win today and keep these videos going, because last week I mentioned long-term goals, and I think thinking more on that, one thing that I really decided I wanted to come from this was like building a community of other people maybe like me who are young, just getting into the poker scene, the live poker scene, and maybe don't have the money to start going all out yet, or maybe just don't have the skills yet and they're trying to work their way up, or maybe people who are doing way better than me and just like to have community and people to talk to and potentially in the future go over hands with, study with, anything like that. So that was a big motivator of mine, because I don't want this channel just to be about me. Obviously I am tracking my journey and like my money and my play, but I'm always down to hear from people in the comments, hear your thoughts, hear your stories, maybe how often you play poker, like what your experiences are, how well you've done, how bad it's gone, whether you need more encouragement or maybe just like someone to be there and be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what this feels like. So yeah, those were 2 things that I wanted to sort of bring up more. And yeah, I'm gonna head out in like 10-20 minutes, just letting my dogs out, and it seems like it's packed day. I think there's 2, maybe 3 tables running right now, which is big for the casino that I go to. But yeah, I will update you guys later.
Seems like I got the double back on the landmine. No tags on my black polo full neckline. Spit the lot of dough, no small conversation.
All right, session number 2 has been completed. It is now 12. We started at 5, so we played for about 7 hours, and we netted down $158. So another small loss. I mean, I'm not super happy about how I'm playing right now, to be honest. If I'm just gonna be completely transparent, I'm not great. I've identified this problem. I am not great at live poker, and it sucks. It's a bit disheartening because I am a winning player online. I have been for a while, and then to get here and just see guys that are much, much, much better than me, it's disheartening, but then it's also encouraging in a way, because it's like you can see how good you can get, or you can see like the room for improvement. But I just think right now my biggest problem is I'm just playing too scared. Time and time again, I just find myself in spots where I'm not raising big enough, I'm not calling wide enough, I'm not raising in period, I'm not like isolating players, I'm not taking advantage of position, I'm just calling and chickening out a lot of the time, and I'm not good. I don't get bluffed much, but I don't even really ponder tough hero calls because I'm just scared. I'm scared to lose my bankroll. So I honestly think I might take some time, build it up a little bit more. I'm still going to keep playing, but I'm going to try and get some more money in this pile just so I feel like play more confidently. But But yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I am pretty upset with how I played, just because I think I missed out on a lot of money at certain spots. I think this could have been a winning session, to be completely honest, which is another shining bright light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, 2 days in right now, we're at like a negative $8 an hour win rate, so not great. And we've identified a big leak. I'm a pussy. Nah, I mean, I'm just kind of new to the live poker scene. Like, my heart's racing every 3-bet pot, even if the pot's like not even $100 yet. Like, I got to get a little bit more used to it. I got to lose some big moments. Like a guy across from me who was literally an animal on the table. He was like, if you want to learn poker quick, you got to lose some big hands. And I think he's right. Like, I think I'm just too nervous right now. Like, oh, I don't want to have to rebuy all my buy-in. I don't want to have to like bet big so I can put it all in on the river and have a good like stack to pot ratio. So, yeah, that's my spiel. I still had a great night. The guy next to me was literally the funniest guy ever. He was talking all night, making me laugh, making me smile. So, definitely not like a depressing night. I lost $150. It's not the end of the world. And I think there's going to be a lot of room for improvement, which is another good thing. Because, I mean, if I was playing my A game and still losing, then that would just be like variance. But I have actual shit to improve on and things to get better at. And we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I can make a turnaround, because we're not off to a good start. All right. See you guys.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome to the hand review session. A few things before I get started. Number one, I know the audio is not great right now. I just bought a new microphone from Temu, so expecting it to get way better. We know that the best of the best stuff comes from Temu. But just bear with me for one more episode. It should be here by the time my next one gets made and posted. And secondly, I am thinking about starting to like film more B-roll, like more actual content of when I'm in the casino, when I'm getting to the casino, like driving there, like vlog kind of stuff. It's a bit intimidating to like pull out your phone and be walking around the casino like selfie recording yourself. Not used to that stuff, but let me know if you want to see more of that stuff, just kind of the cinematography of it all. I would kind of like to get into that stuff. So let me know if that'd be something you're interested in. But nevertheless, let's get into it. Our first hand of the session, I just sat down at the table, haven't de-racked my chips yet, and we get dealt in the cutoff the ace king of diamonds. So I think there might have been one limper before me, but either way, I raise it up to $15. And the button player, the guy next to me, little background, he was incredibly intoxicated. I figured that out within the first 5 seconds. He raises it up to 27. He min clicks it, and he's laughing around and he's talking a bunch of nonsense. Very, very, very drunk. Probably the most drunk I've seen from a guy at the casino, and it was like 5 o'clock, so that was cool. And so the small blind folds and the big blind player calls, sorry. And here, I know you just heard me talk about it in the car, but this should be a 4-bet. This should be a 4-bet. I should not be taking this pot to the flop with 3 players. I should have 4-bet here. Exhibit A, I'm a scared player, but I decide to just call. So it's roughly a $90 pot right now. And the flop comes 7 of hearts, 6 of hearts, 3 of spades. So we've got nothing except for 2 overs and a runner straight draw, but that's not even anything. And the big blind player open shoves for like, I think just over $100, like 150, maybe $200. And we have to fold, and he shows us king jack of hearts. So like bang, right off the bat, if we had 4-bet, he probably would have folded, and we probably would have been able to take this down a lot easier. But on to the next one. Okay, next hand. We have a button straddler. Straddling is very common on the button at these tables, which means the small blind is actually first act pre-flop. And I wake up with Queen Jack of Hearts, so I decide to raise it up to $13. Um, and it actually folds around to the button, who re-raises it $26. So I feel like this is a pretty simple call. I know I'm out of position, but suited connector against a small re-raise, I think this is a pretty good call. So we do call, and about $60 in the pot. And the flop comes the 6 of diamonds, the 10 of clubs, and the queen of clubs. So we flop top pair, which is sweet, and we go ahead and check it over to the original raiser, who bets out $25. And in the moment, I didn't really think about calling. I mean, he could have ace, queen, king, queen, um, a combo draw of some sorts that if I raise, he could just re-raise it all in, and then I'd get blown off my equity. So I thought this was just a good spot to call. Let me know if you disagree, but now the pot's 110, and the turn comes the 4 of hearts. And here, there are a few, I think there could be some merit to donking out like $80, but I decided to check it, which I think is the more standard line, and he checked it back. So now I'm pretty sure that I was ahead with my hand. That was until the king of spades came out on the river, and I kind of just got a sick feeling in my stomach. I knew right away that king was not good for me and it was good for him. And I thought about betting this river as some sort of bluff, but then I really thought about it more, and with clubs missing, and like there was just no way he's ever folding a king, even though I did put him on a king, even if it was a bad one. So I just thought, I kind of got like not upset, but I was like, I just gotta give this one up. And I checked, and he actually checked right back, which maybe was because he knew he couldn't get any more money, but he had ace king. So I was right. He hit the king, and another pot lost. Unfortunate river. So not a great start to the session once again. Cool. Hand number 3. This is exhibit B of me being kind of a softy at the table. And this one was against the player that I talked about in the car, telling me that the best way to get better is to lose some big pots. This guy was probably the best poker player I've ever seen at live. Not to glaze, but he was making some insane calls, some insane reads. He clearly knew what he was doing. He was talking like everything he said about every hand I was in was correct. And he was kind of needling me just because like he knew I wasn't. He knew I was kind of new, and I mean I'll go into it more at the hand, but I wake up in the low jack with pocket kings, and he had just lost a hand, so he was kind of talking more than usual. But he raised me up from the button straddle uh, to like I raised 15. I think he raised like 35, 40. Um, and then he right away was like, okay, now you're gonna four bet and shove it up my, you know what, and like he knew right away I had a big pair, and he was just like, it's weird to be playing in a hand and have someone literally like looking at you in the face, telling you like that they know what you have and they know how you play, and it sucked because he was right. Like he was just like telling the truth, and it sucked because there's nothing you can do about it. It's like when the opposing team in a video game is like toxic, but they're genuinely better than you, so you can't even do anything about it. But and because he was saying this stuff, I didn't four bet. Like he literally said to my face, looked me in the eyes, and was like, "I know you're gonna four bet right now because you have pocket aces, pocket kings, or ace king, and like those aren't the only hands that I play." But he was right in this instant, so I just called. And another instance of me. I mean, I don't know if he would have called this four bet. I'll let you know his hand at the end, but yeah, I think I would have called, and he probably. I think if I had four bet, he probably would have called, and I would have made more money. But we go to a flop nonetheless. 10 of diamonds, queen of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, monotone board. Um, I check it over to him, and he uh, checks it back. Oh no, I check it over to him and he bets out 20. And this whole time, I'm not kidding, he was still talking about my hand. He was like, "All right, time to take down a big pair. Like, can we take down a big pair?" And so he bet out 20. I called, and then he got pissed. He was like, "All right, you lost. You got the ace king of diamonds. You got the ace of diamonds." And then the turn comes the seven of diamonds. So we hit the second nut straight. I check. He checks it back, and the river I think was a blank. But I bet out like $40 just to get a little bit more money, and he folds king queen offsuit. So, and he was like, "Oh, I lost the minimum. Like I knew you had the king of diamonds." And yeah, this one was one of the ones where it kind of hurt my ego a bit, getting like talked to like this. But I mean, he was right, and there was really nothing I could have done except four bet again. But the monsters under the bed crept up on me, and I did not win the maximum because of that. So things to work on, things to think about. You know, there's always room for improvement, and I think this guy taught me a good bit by the way he played and the things he said, even though he was being a bit rough. Okay, second to last hand here. I think this is an interesting one. We can talk about it a bit. It folds around to me in the cutoff, and I wake up with pocket sevens. I really like pocket pairs, and I decide to raise it up to 15, and it folds around in the big blind. Who calls? I've been talking to this big blind player for a bit. He was next to the guy who was also very funny, so we were joking around, laughing a bit, and he could also tell I was pretty new, but he seemed like a competent player, definitely. So that was something to note in this hand. The flop came the jack of diamonds, the ace of diamonds, and the five of spades. So one good thing I think about being seen as a newer, nittier player is everyone always thinks you have an ace. So I kind of took advantage of this, and when he checked it over to me, wait, sorry, hold on, patience. I bet out for $15, and he called. Oh no, that's not math. He called, and I assumed right away if he's calling, he either has diamonds or he has an ace, because other than that, most people at the table, I mean, trust me, like I mean this when I say it, everyone was always telling me like, "Oh, you had ace king there?" Like, "Oh, every hand I played, they were like, "Oh, you had ace king? Oh, you had ace queen?" Like they just thought I was a complete shitter nit fish who would only play like ace king, which I don't. Like I use this for my benefit. I swear, guys. But the turn came the three of hearts, and I bet out. He checked over to me again, and I bet out for I believe 35, maybe $40. And he thought about it for a little bit, and he called again. So at this point, I was thinking the exact same thing. Surely he has a ace of some sort or diamonds. So let's just say I bet 35. So 70 plus 60 is 130. And then the river comes the nine of spades. So diamond miss, and that is important. And he thinks about it for a bit, and then he bets $100. And I don't know about you, but I think I could do some research on this in the GTO Wizard kind of poker sheet. I could do some research on this, but I think this is a pretty good fold standard. Like he obviously had something, or it's pretty polar. I think a donk of $100 here. So I do lay it down, and he's nice enough to show me that he had 5-8 of diamonds, so he missed his diamond draw and he bluffed. And he said his bet was actually trying to get me off of an ace. So my MO, he thought I had an ace, and he thought he could get me off of it with that bet. Which, if I had an ace, I was not folding there. But luckily for him, I had pocket sevens. But I think I should have thought about it a little bit longer. I should have considered maybe hero calling. Diamonds obviously missed, but I didn't give him a lot of rope to bluff. It didn't look like an over bluffed spot. It looked like an under bluffed spot. Two calls and then a big bet. But let me know what you think about this hand. I thought it was definitely interesting and worth noting. Okay, last hand of the session that I'm going to cover. I didn't notate all of my big hands here. I was having a lot of fun with this guy who's in this pot with me. So I kind of got distracted a little bit, which is bad. I gotta be on my be on my thing and focusing on this content and notating and getting better. But yeah, in this hand, I wake up with pocket queens on the button, and I raise it up to 20. And the big blind, who is the guy who was making me laugh all night, his name was Will. He was awesome. He's telling me he's been playing for a long time. He doesn't care about money. He just wants to play. But he's like he definitely knew what he was doing. He was winning a lot of hands, and he re-raised me to, I believe, 55, I think $60 actually, one of the two. And again, Exhibit C of that's kind of the theme of this episode. I think I could have four bet here, but he was saying a lot that he didn't care about the money, and he was also drinking a bit. So he could have called light. Um, which you'll see later in the hand why this would have been a bad thing. But I definitely think I could have four bet here, but with queens in position, I decided to just call. So we're going to a pot of about 120, and the flop comes the five of clubs, the jack of hearts, and the king of diamonds, and he goes and bets out for, I believe, $60 again, and we kind of just sigh and we fold. And because he said because he likes us, because he thinks that we have potential, he told me. He said if I keep playing, he could see me being very good. He said he can tell, which made me feel good because even though he was drunk and just being nice, it felt good to have someone tell me that they thought I could be good. But he showed me King Jack, so he actually had me destroyed. And yeah, we lose another pretty big pot. And um, I mean, I had a fun night, like I said in the earlier video, but this was not my best session. Definitely. I think a lot of things to notate on. And I think next episode, I'm actually going to put together a list of things that I need to hone in on and focus and get better at, um, just so I kind of have it right in front of me and I can have these things internalized. But yeah, that was session number 2. Like I said, lost like 150, but didn't get anything really going for me. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope you and could take something away from this. If not, let me know in the comments. Call me bad. Tell me how you would have played a certain hand differently. Uh, or just say, hey, I like what you're doing, man. That would mean a lot. But yeah, audio will get better. Editing will get better. Just bear with me, please. And thank you. See ya.